Hello, I hope that everyone is having a nice Sunday so far. We just got back from Sagatuck in Michigan, where we spent some family time over the weekend, and Rachel and I decided to take the Fuji X100 with us. We shot all the pictures with this camera. There are a bunch of pictures, and there is some footage too, so I'm gonna make a video that is coming this next Wednesday about this camera and about the place. So I'm going through, trying to organize my camera gear after the trip, and I wanted to talk about something. It's going to be a very short video today, but it's about the way we treat our cameras. Let me show you this. You might remember that I got this camera, the RX100, a few months ago, back in Spain. I think it was 6 months ago, and since then this camera has been through a lot, and literally you can see in the outside the screen is shattered. I think it's the screen protector. It's not the actual screen that is shattered. This happened in 2 drops. I dropped the camera in Utah under the Corona Arch. I dropped it in Indianapolis, I think. I don't even remember. Here there is a little gap, hopefully you can see it, between the viewfinder and the frame of the camera. That happened after I dropped the camera in Detroit. Sometimes I can still find some sand inside. I dropped this camera in the sand of white sands in New Mexico. I dropped it in Colorado too at the gray sand dunes. You see this ring for the filters. This is the second one. I had to buy again because with the heat, the glue just failed, and I lost the ring plus the filter that I had mounted here. That it was not cheap, that ND filter. I'm talking about the heat and the glue. Here there used to be a grip thing for where you rest your thumb while you are shooting, and that thing started to fail in Arizona with the heat. It got much worse in New Mexico, and it was just sliding all over the place in California, so I just decided to just take it off and get rid of it. It's probably not weatherproof now. It wasn't before, but there is like a little hole there, so it probably made it worse. But talking about weatherproof and waterproof, the other day, last video, I was at Chino Lakes, and you might remember that I was in the car waiting until the rain stopped, and at that moment I didn't realize, but I had forgotten this camera outside. So this camera stayed outside for more than 15 minutes under the rain with this hole and everything, and it turned out to be okay, works just fine. But it's just to show you that this camera has been through a lot. I have the other one, the RX100 Mark II, that went through a lot too. That was the camera that I used to make all my videos years ago, and I kept dropping it because I bring it with me everywhere. This camera is so convenient to bring that it's all over my pockets, my backpacks and everything, so it's more likely to get damaged. But the thing is, in 6 months, this is all the damage report. It might seem like a lot, but I've used it a lot. I've created a lot of images, I've created a lot of videos with it, and now all these things that you can see all over, I consider them to be more like scars of war, and they bring up like good memories. Actually, every time I look at the screen, makes me think of Utah and the amazing time I had there. So I know I'm actually proud of the scars that this camera is showing. This is not the only one, of course. I have the GoPro that is, the screen here is shattered too, and a little bit here on the lens. That happened in Arizona. Now the A6000 is in better condition, it's just mostly cosmetic, but this one shows as well. I've been using this camera for over 5 years. The shutter button, sometimes it gets stuck, but you know, you can hit it hard and it comes back to working condition. The sensor, you can barely see it, but it has a scratch. I was cleaning this with the rocket thingy, the to blow air, you know, and I wasn't even paying attention. I don't know what I was doing, probably just looking at the TV or whatever, and I scratched the sensor. It was unintentional, but it shows in some of the images, but you can fix that in post, and it's still a camera that works perfectly fine. And all these scars scars that I like to consider scars. As I said, I don't know, it's something that I actually like. It gives the camera some personality and some character. This one that I was showcasing the other day, the Rolleiflex. This camera used to belong to Rachel's grandpa, and as you can see, the outside, the leather and everything is not in the best condition, but I actually love that because it shows the history of the camera, that it's an old camera and it's still working. You see all of this here, and I think that it's pretty cool. Even the noise that it makes when you wind the film. It's not doing it now, I guess it's because it doesn't have any film, but it has a very weird and funny noise, like, you know, it's rotting or something, and I love it. I just like it. Now, this doesn't mean that I like to hurt my cameras or I like to damage them. Something happened this today somehow. This is the variable ND filter that I use for my videos. I have it always on this lens, on the Sigma 16mm, and today, for some reason, I don't know how many layers or how this works exactly, but this is a variable ND filter, and I know that inside it has like a couple layers, I guess, of glass that you rotate with this, so it changes the amount of light that it can block. And now it got loose. Hopefully you can hear it. So it doesn't work anymore. I might have to buy a new one. And this is not something I like. I don't like to ruin my gear, but I do like this little minor cosmetic imperfections that they get over time, because that means that we use them, that means that we take them out. That's what they are meant for. It's like our bodies, they sometimes get some scars, and some of those are good memories, some of those are not good memories, but it means that, you know, we live and we do things, and sometimes things happen. At least I think that it's better than having them on a shelf collecting dust and getting old because we don't use them. I would love to know about you and your cameras, about your story. If you have cameras that are not in the best condition, but you still like the way they look, the way they behave. For example, I didn't mention that, but my RX100 Mark II, it's damaged to the point where the autofocus sometimes doesn't work very well. And sometimes I've gotten amazing results because the focus was not precisely accurate, and that made the whole image much better. So that's a unique look that sometimes I can get from that camera. I have in the Rolleiflex, the lenses are not in the best condition. It gives me a little bit of a foggy result and something like that, that I actually like, because there is no other Rolleiflex like that one. Only that one has the lenses scratched that way, and only with that one I can get those results. So that's what I would love to hear from you. I would love to, even if you want to send some images and captures of your cameras, please do so. Just upload them somewhere, Dropbox, Google Drive, whatever, and share the link in the comment down below. Just a short video for today. We'll be back on Wednesday with that video from Michigan. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.